when I open my email for this channel, I get many questions centered around religion and politics. I usually keep my answers off of Hunt Camp Mail because the answers are just usually too long, and because most folks really don't like mixing religion and politics with hunting and fishing. Many of my viewers ask me what religion I associate with. You'd be surprised. A lot of people specifically ask me that. And, I just really don't know why that would be important, but many viewers seem very curious about it. Some viewers seem downright disappointed when, I don't wear my religion on my sleeve when I film my videos. And some people actually view me with suspicion because of that. People always seem to also get me wrong politically. I've had some people call me a right-wing nut job in the comment section of my videos, and I've had other people call me a stupid liberal. Well, I'll answer these questions once and for all in this video, at the risk of viewers who only want to watch people who agree with their ideology staying subscribed to my channel. So this video may cause me to lose some subscribers. So if you don't want to hear about religion or politics, turn this video off right now. So let's talk about politics first. Politically, I'd be more closely aligned with a constitutionalist or a libertarian. I believe in freedom and our Constitution. And I'm also not blind to the fact that Republicans and Democrats are just two sides of the same coin. Both parties like to play on people's emotions to erode our Constitution, and both parties are bought and sold by corporate interests. And I really have no trust in either political party. Democrats want to supplant the Constitution with socialists and often Marxist ideals. And they do this by dividing us through class and race warfare. They also seek to gain enormous wealth and control through environmental alarmism. Democrat leaders truly kind of see themselves as the enlightened ones, sitting up on their ivory towers, looking over the stupid, unwashed masses. Democrats use activist judges, the public school system, the media, government agencies, and election fraud to control the citizens of this country. Out of the two parties that we have, Democrats are obviously more morally corrupt, in my opinion. Republicans, on the other hand, and you thought you were going to get away on this one, but you're not Republicans, because Republicans like to erode the Constitution by, pretending to protect us from criminals and foreign threats like terrorists, when in reality, our own government is the real threat to us. They won't hesitate to suspend rights and create new bureaucratic ABC agencies in the name of security. Republicans like to convince you that throwing millions of people in prison for minor crimes like smoking weed works. But in reality, it's kind of making the problem worse. The war on drugs, let's talk about that for a second. The war on drugs was really a war on the American people, and we let it militarize America's law enforcement to our own detriment. Republicans are also an enemy of public land access. As a party, they always seem to be on the wrong side of issues surrounding access to public land. They're beholden to corporations and developers that want to take away our access to public land. And, they're always on the wrong side of issues that take away access and destroy habitat. And I just really don't like that. So now that you know I don't really like Republicans or Democrats, on to the next question. How do I vote? Well, I'll tell you one thing, I don't toe the party line. I didn't vote for Clinton, Bush, Obama, McCain, or Romney. To my objective eyes, they were kind of all on the same side, and I voted for third party candidates in all of those elections. I did, though, vote for Donald Trump in all of his elections, and I believe that he's truly America's own real third party president. The Democrats hate Donald Trump, and so do the Republicans, the corporations, the ABC government agencies hate him, the UN hates him, CNN hates him, Fox News hates him, the big bankers hate him, Hollywood hates him, and every crooked rat in our government hates Donald Trump. That alone kind of tells me he's the right man for the job. The only ones on Donald Trump's side is what we now call the working class. I mean, yes, things have gotten so bad in America that we have a working class now, and that there shouldn't even be a working class of people. Stating that there's a working class of Americans denotes that half of our population isn't working at all, and that's sad. At the beginning of 2020, we had a great economy, historically low unemployment. We were getting fair trade deals with our international partners. Manufacturing was actually coming back to the United States and even selling excess energy to other countries. We stopped giving terrorists money, and we weren't bogged down in any foreign wars. I judge the performance of a politician on what they do, not what they say. And, I think Donald Trump pretty much did what he said he was going to do. Yes, I do often wish that Trump would just shut the fuck up. Trump is a walking contradiction of words. And, Trump is also very inarticulate, in my opinion, but he gets results. And that's what really matters in the real world. And I'm starting to believe that. I was on board basically with just about everything Trump did. Unfortunately, I think he was way too late in our history, and the system was already too far gone. Our government might be corrupted beyond the point of return. But, I'm glad he was reelected, and I hope the current administration doesn't enact a scorched earth policy as they leave office. But, they just might do something like that. So I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat, and I really have no use for either of them anymore. I'm just not beholden to any political party, and I vote my conscience and my intellect. And now for the part of the video that's going to trigger a lot of my subscribers. As far as religion goes, I don't really have one. I know you don't want to hear that, but, I just don't live my life trying to earn heaven credits. And I don't buy into the notion that really good people are going to somehow be punished or burn in hell because they don't believe exactly how you do. I don't see people as religious chess pawns when I have relationships with them. If you're decent to me, you'll always receive the same treatment in return, regardless of your belief system. In fact, we can disagree on everything and still be friends. By the same token, many of the rabid atheists I know are kind of horrible people. They really think that they've completely shunned religion, but that isn't really the truth, is it? Rather than being overbearing Christians that are always trying to bring you to Jesus, they're overbearing atheists trying to bring people into the cult of climate change, wokeism, or communism. Most of humanity is lost, and that's a sad fact. And people need a cause or belief system to bring meaning to their lives. And atheists just aren't immune to that. When you observe nature, as much as I have in my lifetime, the interconnectedness and just the way it all fits, it's easy to view nature as a glorious design rather than a product of random happenstance. It's an almost simplistic complexity whose comprehension is like just outside our grasp. So I spend my time enjoying nature and respecting it rather than canonizing its meaning and telling others to believe exactly like I do. In this regard, I follow no religious doctrine for creation. Perhaps the credence I put in the concept of karma, indicates a belief in a higher power somehow. It is entirely possible. And in that respect, an objective observer might consider me to be an agnostic. And if some space alien decides to come down to Earth and collect people and sort them into neat little boxes according to their religion, I guess I'll probably get tossed into the agnostic bin. I've always been a very critical thinker, and I do my best to not let fear or emotion cloud my judgment, or let other people's beliefs influence my personal thought process. So I like to do my thinking independently. The Dalai Lama said, "Your enlightenment rests on your own shoulders." And that's pretty much the core of an individual's belief system, in my opinion. Your spirituality should be a product of your own reasoning and experience. Our beliefs are one of the few things in life that truly can't be taken away from us by anyone. You should never be ashamed of your beliefs, but you should also understand that, other people who think for themselves are probably going to have beliefs that differ slightly or significantly from yours. I travel around the world frequently on my hunting and fishing adventures, so perhaps my experience with so many different cultures and religions kind of molded my own belief system in some way. Like you, perhaps I'm also a product of my environment and experiences. I know that some people are going to want to like or dislike me based on how my beliefs align with theirs, but in my opinion, that's regrettable. Some of you are just curious about my political and religious beliefs, and there's nothing at all wrong with being curious. That's why I'm doing this video. When I give my lectures on hunting and fishing, you often listen to me speak of the current state of society when I put things into context. As most of my viewers know, at least the ones that have followed me for a long time, I believe that society is de-evolving and becoming increasingly polarized. I also believe that the internet and social media are kind of a vessel for this. Digital algorithms have reduced human beings into mindless drones who are unknowingly spoon-fed advertisements by increasing your clicks. Many people like to blame this solely on technology, but it isn't totally technology's fault. It's your fault because you're the one creating and driving your own algorithm. Your algorithm forces you to live in your own ideological bubble by only showing you things that you want to see. When an algorithm recognizes you as a hardcore liberal, It's only going to feed you that kind of content whenever you get on social media or you do an internet search, because it needs to constantly keep you engaged. If you go to a right wing person's YouTube account, only viewpoints like Fox or Tucker Carlson or Valuetainment or Newsmax or gun related content is going to be present on their feed when they do searches. By contrast, if you go to a leftist YouTube page, it's likely that they're fed CNN, MSNBC, Young Turks, and content like that. The danger with this is that it forces you to believe that most people think exactly like you do. If you believe that the whole world agrees with you, then you instantly become a very polarized person. But in reality, you're just living in a manufactured bubble that the algorithm created. Every study out there confirms that Democrats or left-leaning people spend a lot more time on social media, which is why they're normally more polarized as individuals. Just look at their reactions to Donald Trump. I mean, they really thought everybody in the world hated Donald Trump. And, look at the surprise on their face when he won by a landslide. So in reality, the algorithm doesn't really care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. The goal of the algorithm is to make money. It makes money by getting you to click on things and stay engaged. And in order to do that, it needs to feed you content that you're always going to watch. So the next time you log on to YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, look at the content that you're being fed. That'll tell you a lot. So there you go. That's Desert Dog's stance on politics, religion, and modern society. A very intelligent Mormon viewer of my channel once called me an agnostic libertarian. And even though I don't categorize myself, he was probably correct. So now that I pissed off Christians, atheists, Democrats, and Republicans, let's carry on with our lives and get back to hunting and fishing.